Jai Shri Ram, welcome all of you all for our Wednesday weekly Ramayana class. So we are just starting the 18th Sarga of the Bal Kanda. So we have been doing the entire Bal Kanda till now by shloka, and we want to continue the same format, trying to understand the secrets, the hidden secrets inside the Ramayana, Valmiki Ramayan. So the title of the 18 chapters, Incarnation of Lord Rama and his brothers. So request Damini Mataji to read slowly.
Yes, Prabhuji. The great soul King Dasharatha thus completed that horse sacrifice. All the devatas went back as they had come after accepting their share of the offering. After completing the sacrificial vows, the king, along with his wives, entered the city. They were also accompanied by his servants, army, and vehicles. King Dasharatha befittingly honored all other earthly kings who had come to the sacrifice. Those delighted kings offered their obeisance to Vashishta Muni, the best among the sages, and left for their kingdoms. The delighted armies of those kings who were going to their own houses were shining brightly. With the earthly kings having left, the great and the prosperous king Dasharatha then entered the city by keeping ahead the best of the Brahmanas. The greatly honored Rishyasringa, along with his wife Shanta, departed, followed by the intelligent king Romapada, along with his servants.
So the sequences, sab ho gaya. The yajna is over. The entire, the tapasya of the yajna is over. All the brahmanas have been given lot of wealth, and all donations have been paid. And now, keeping the brahmanas ahead, King Dasharath Maharaj is going to enter the city of Ayodhya. So this is the scene which is being depicted here. Yes, continue.
Having bid farewell to all of them, King Dasharatha then with a satisfied mind resided happily there in Ayodhya. He was now contemplating the birth of his sons.
So you have to understand, the payasam has also been distributed. Sweet rice has also been distributed. So sab ho gaya hai. Abhi sirf now Dasharatha Maharaj is now in a dream world, dream of how I'm going to get sons and how I'll be happy. So he's in a waiting position. And now how long is the wait is going to be disturbed in verse number 8 to 11 is going to be described. And how Ramchandraji will be born, that is also described. Very important verses. Please read.
Complete 6 seasons, 1 year passed after the completion of the sacrifice. It was the 12th month on the 9th lunar day of the bright fortnight in the month of Chaitra on the Punarvasu Nakshatra star, when the moon and Jupiter were rising in the Cancer sign, the Supreme Lord Ramachandra was born to Queen Kaushalya. That Lord, worshipped in all the worlds, was born with the all auspicious marks. That half of the Lord Vishnu, as he was born from half of the Payasam, was most fortunate and of great delight to the Ikshvaku dynasty. Lord Rama was born with red lotus eyes, long, strong arms, reddish lips, and a voice as deep as Dundubi drum.
Okay. Very important.
The words Vishnur Ardham, half of Vishnu, born by the half Payasam, means the fruit of the sacrifice was Payasam, and Lord Rama was born after Queen Kaushalya had consumed half of that Payasam.
Yes, very important things to be learnt in this sloka. First and foremost, even Lord did not appear immediately. तो हम लोग भी अगर भक्ति में चाहते हैं कि रिजल्ट्स फटाफट आए, तो डोंट बी foolishly waiting. Even Dasharath Maharaj, after all doing all that, he could have said, "Arey bhaiya, इतना late क्यों कर रहे हो? Come back, come early, Lord will take his own time. जब उनका मूड बनेगा, वो आएंगे." So it took 1 full year, and that too on a Navami Tithi. Now, why it's not Navami Tithi? Acharya say Krishna was born on Ashtami and Ramchandraji was born on Navami. What is so special? Ashtami and Navami Tithi are not considered to be auspicious, especially in South India. No good karya is done on Ashtami and Navami. So Lord said, okay, let me make this Tithi auspicious. So that is the reason why Lord Krishna took birth in Ashtami and Ramchandraji took birth in Navami. Then this important statement that Lord Ramchandra was born to Queen Kaushalya. Now here we have to understand, I've already told earlier, I want to repeat it once again. Lord never goes into anyone's womb. Please understand that. Lord doesn't require to go inside any womb. To create that, that, what do you say, the feeling, that bhava, Lord definitely कहते हैं, आचार्यगण कहते हैं कि बात हवा से पेट बड़ा कर देते हैं. So the lady feels, yes, I'm carrying the child. But actually, it is mere hava. Lord only appears. There is no need for Lord to go in anyone's womb. That is the speciality of Lord. Lord कभी किसी के गर्भ में नहीं गए, यहाँ तक कि उत्तरा के गर्भ में भी नहीं गए. You all know, उत्तरा के गर्भ में भगवान गए थे ब्रह्मास्त्र से बचाने के लिए. किसको? परीक्षित महाराज को. So how did Lord go? Lord was standing outside. तुति महारानी सिंह अंतर बहिर अवस्थितम, अंदर भी है बाहर भी है. अंदर कैसे गए? As परमात्मा स्वरूपा he entered a womb, but and the actual form Lord never enters anyone's womb, though he is taking birth. And now the most important point. Here we say that Kaushalya consumed half of the paisam, sweet rice, जो प्रसाद आया था यज्ञ कुंड से, जो महान व्यक्ति लेके आए थे, जो बड़े बर्तन में, the big pot, the silver pot with the golden lid. He got this paisam and he gave this paisam to King Dashrath, and he gave half of the paisam. Now, does this mean Lord Vishnu is divided into four and under three? Ram, Lakshman, Bharat, Shatrugna. So only half powers with Ramchandraji, 1/4 with Lakshmana and all that, 2/3 and 2/4. So how do you calculate that? Puja Mataji, what do you think?
See, I think all the four were equally Supreme Personality, like they had equal powers. The four, I think so. That
Then
is
here
why
he's specifically mentioning that born out of half the paisam.
I really don't know, Prabhuji. Yes, I shouldn't comment. Yeah.
Okay, anybody else like to add?
मुझे आप बोलते हैं ना कि वो पूर्ण में से निकले तो भी वो पूर्ण है.
अरे वाह, वेरी गुड, वेरी नाइस, परफेक्ट आंसर. याद रखो, भगवान अगर एक कण खाने से भी हो गए, अरे बाबा कोई कारण से नहीं हुए, ये सब निमित्त है. फर्स्ट फॉरमोस्ट यू अंडरस्टैंड लॉर्ड इज पूर्ण, और जब वो निमित्त बना के आए, क्या निमित्त बना के आए? पायसम बिकेम ए निमित्त. सम ग्रॉस हैज टू बी गिवन ना. हम लोग ग्रॉस मेंटालिटी वाले लोग हैं, ऐसे भगवान अवतरित हो जाते हैं तो एक्सेप्ट नहीं करेंगे ना हम लोग. सो ही बिकेम ए निमित्त. एंड अगर वो कौशल्या ने हाफ खाया या पाव खाया या 1/4 खाया, 2/3 खाया, जो भी, उस पायसम से कोई गर्भ में नहीं गए भगवान. Let's have this clarity in the mind. Lord doesn't need any reason to enter anyone's body or womb. He is already existing in each and every cell of the body. विष्णु का मतलब क्या है? हर अणु में है. So there is no special reason. यहाँ पे it is said after having eaten that half the payasam, Lord Vishnu, half of the potency is born. It is just significant. That is why, so people, why I am clarifying this point is people may ask further, sir, so Lord Ramchandra ji is not the Swampurna avatar of the Lord. एक क्या half power वाले God हैं, Krishna full power वाले God हैं. Please, there is nothing called half power God and full power God. God is God. Please don't foolishly categorize. People categorize. Sorry to say, but there are many people who categorize. Krishna is only the supreme. He is not the supreme. He is only half the power. No, Baba. He is equal power. And none other than Vishnu himself, he has appeared. Well, Lord had decided, he had promised the Devatas, he had promised Brahmaji, and all the Devatas, I am going to I am going to appear. And we appeared. Okay, you need some reason. People can't accept it without, Hare, Aisa kaise appear. Then the question was, was it in intercourse between the king and the queen that gave birth to Lord? No. So Lord wants to make sure, Baba, I don't need an intercourse to take birth or to go into anyone's womb. I appear, and this prasadam, this paisam became a nimit. That's all you have to understand. Please continue.
With that son Rama, Queen Kaushalya was shining with unlimited splendor, just like Aditi glows with her son Indra, one who holds the thunderbolt in his hand. Some acharyas also interpret it as Aditi shining with her son Vamana, as Lord Vamana also has a symbol of a thunderbolt in his hand.
Yes, very important. Aditi gave birth to Indra. Aditi gave birth to Vamana. And why did Lord Vamana appear? On the request of Aditi Devi. Aditi Devi wanted her son Indra to be freed from the clutches of Bali Maharaj. So she immediately prayed to God, and Lord said, और किसको भेजूं, मैं खुद ही आना पड़ेगा मुझे, मैं ही आता हूं आपका पुत्र बन के. And Indra uses the thunderbolt as his weapon, whereas Vaman Dev had the mark of thunderbolt in his hand. So Acharya say that Aditi, she was shining like Aditi. Doesn't mean necessarily it is holding son of Indra as a son. It can also mean she is the mother of Vaman Dev. Usi tarah wo chamak rahi. That's all we have. Continue.
Queen Kaikeyi gave birth to Bharata, the one with true prowess. He was like the fourth portion of Vishnu himself, endowed with all virtue. Then Queen Sumitra gave birth to two brave sons, Lakshmana and Shatrughna. They were experts in all types of weapons, representing a portion of Vishnu. The cheerful-minded Bharata was born in Pushya star and Meena Lagna, Pisces zodiac sign. The two sons of Queen Sumitra were born in the Ashlesha nakshatra, when the sun was rising in the Karka Lagna, Cancer zodiac sign. Lord Rama was born on the 9th day of the Chaitra month. Bharata was born in the morning part of the next day, the 10th day of the Chaitra. Then Lakshmana and Shatrughna were born in the later part of the 10th day.
इसके लिए 3 नक्षत्र अलग है. 3 different nakshatra. Bharata was born in Pushya. So first Ramchandra ji in Punarvasu, then sing in Pushya nakshatra, and then in Ashlesha nakshatra, Lakshmana and Shatrughna were born. So very important is they were born on different time gaps, not on the very same moment or very same day. That is why I have mentioned this categorically. The 9th day of the Chaitra month, Bharata was born on the morning part of the next day, that is the 10th day of the Chaitra month, and Lakshmana and Shatrughna were born in the later half of the day, the evening time of the 10th day of Chaitra month. So I have already told you all the story of Bharata and Shatrughna. How many of you remember why they were born? Though hear the story, Valmiki ji mentions, okay, 1/4 and all that. But कितने लोगों को पता है?
पादुका का स्टोरी है ना गुरुजी?
हाँ, very good. How many all remember? All of you remember or not? Only how many remembers? Lita Madhaj, you don't remember? Okay.
गुरुजी
Praveen,
आपने
you
जो
remember?
मैं नहीं थी।
प्रभु जी वो शंख वाला आपने जो
हाँ,
हाँ
ना कितना जन को स्टोरी मालूम? इंग्लिश में पूछना हो तो हिंदी में, जवाब देते हिंदी में, तो इंग्लिश में ठीक है, 50-50, ठीक है। I say it very fast, short. बार कहते हैं this comes actually when the Bharata comes to take the paduka on his head and go back. उसमें एक आता है वैकुंठ लोक में सब कुछ जीवित है, everything is living in the वैकुंठ लोका. So Acharya say very beautifully, when Gajendra Moksha Leela was going on, when Gajendra's prayers were going on, Vishnu was like, oh, मुझे अभी जाना है, I have to run immediately to save my bhakta. वो विष्णु कहाँ रहते हैं? वैकुंठ में कैसे रहते हैं? शेषनाग पे लेटे रहते हैं. और अभी आप भी घर पे चप्पल अगर पहनते हो तो कैसा लेटते हो? आप चप्पल पहन के लेटते हो? You keep it down and you're lying down on the bed. But when you get down, you wear your slippers and you move. Here, Vishnu was in such a hurry. He did not carry his Shankha Chakra also with him. Everything is with him. Okay, Shankha Chakra, Gada, Padma, everything is there with him. But it is said Vishnu was so excited to go and help his devotee who was crying, or rather calling him, that he got up. Lakshmi Devi is pressing his leg, as usual, serving his leg. Suddenly, she found the leg is missing. Where is it? Got and left. Got up and left. And he keeps his Shankha and Chakra besides him. We had kept that also on the bed. He forgot to wear his slippers also, Paduka also. Immediately left. तो जैसे वो गए, वहां का जो सेवक, वैकुंठ लोक में जो भी भक्त का सेवक बन के जाता है, तो one sevak came to so called clean. There is nothing dirt in Vaikuntha. Okay, please don't see that Vaikuntha is as dirty as our city is. No, it's spick and span. But he started cleaning. That person was cleaning. That's, even if it is clean, one is supposed to clean. That's the level of cleanliness and service. He was cleaning. तो उसने क्या किया, उठाते वक्त, क्लीन करते वक्त पादुका उठाया और ऊपर शेषनाग पर रख दिया. जैसे रखा, Shankha and Chakra were speaking to each other. Everything is living in this world, okay? Nothing is dead. So Shankara is speaking to Chakra. देख, ये पादुका का नसीब अपना लेवल पे आ गया. Where is he fit for? Fit to be on the floor, but he is now at our level. The Paduka felt very bad, very insulting. Paduka is actually comes under female gender. As a lady was feeling very sad, she was crying. इतने में भगवान को याद है, अरे यार मैं तो पहना ही नहीं, मेरा शंख चक्र नहीं तो पहचानेगा नहीं कोई, मेरा पादुका भी अंदर रह गया. So he came running back. We saw the paduka on the Sheshnag. He just put it down, wore his slippers, took his shankha, shook his padma, and left. Sat on Garuda. But the minute he saw the paduka was wet. He was wondering how come the paduka can become wet? कैसे गीला हो सकता है? He asked, how come you're wet? What happened? You're crying? बस करने नहीं चलता है. It's all part of life. क्या करें? जीवन में ऐसा ही होता रहता है, अच्छे लोगों के साथ ऐसे होता है ना. That's what the dialogue always generally people say ना, आप क्यों रो रहे हो? तो रो रहा था. नहीं बताओ, let me know, as if Lord doesn't know anything. Lord asked. Lord said, no. When you went, it's the whole story. The Paduka narrated the whole story, how the slippers were kept and how insultingly Shankha and Chakra said. So Lord that day decided, the Shankha and Chakra are too proud about themselves. I have to teach them a lesson. I'll teach them. So it is said, Bharata was none other than Shankha. And Chakra was none other than Bharata, and Shankha was none other than Shatrugna. So when Ramchandraji's Leela was happening, the same Paduka was kept in Ayodhya. It was a ceremonial Paduka. It was not a regular slipper और रोज पहन के जाने वाला स्लीपर नहीं था। जैसे आप लोगों का साड़ी ड्रेस रहता है ना, मतलब फंक्शन में पहन के, शादी में पहन के जाने का ड्रेस, तो आप घर में पहन के घूम नहीं सकते। कोई अपना शादी का सूट पहन के घूम नहीं सकता लोकल ट्रेन में, वैसा। सो दैट इज लाइक सेरिमोनियल, ओनली फंक्शन टू फंक्शन. So that paduka was none other than Vishnu's paduka, and that was kept whenever the Raj Abhishek used to happen. वो पहनाते थे. तो कहते हैं कि वो पादुका लेके भरत जी आए थे, and Bharat ji is none other than the chakra. And Ramchandra ji had told, Vishnu had told, I am going to make them say sorry or make them repent for what the pride they had. So when they had come to the Chitrakoot forest, requesting Ramchandra ji to come back, Ramchandra said, I am not going to come back. So finally the decision was, let's take the paduka in which Lord has put his feet. तो उन्होंने अपने चरण उसमें डाल के पादुका भरत ने उठा के अपने सिर पे रखा, एंड शत्रुघ्न उसको चामर करते हुए लेके गए. एंड फॉर 14 years, जब तक रामचंद्र जी नहीं आए, it was given the same value of Ramchandra ji, and Bharat was reporting everything to the paduka. That is why it is said Shankha and Chakra were the representatives of Bharata and Shatrughna, but not that they were portion of the Lord or important. Remember, Lord and his Parshadas, his fragmental parts, are all equally powerful because they have come from Vaikuntha Loka and not from this material world. So please understand. Yes, please continue.
The four great soul sons, born successively to King Dashratha, were endowed with good qualities. They were worthy and splendid, resembling the Bhadrapad star. The Gandharvas sang melodiously, and the group of Apsaras danced. The Devatas sounded the Dundubi drums. A rain of flowers fell from the heaven. A great festival was celebrated in Ayodhya, which was crowded with happy citizens.
There was great festivity and celebration happening in Ayodhya. Yes.
The roads of Ayodhya were filled with actors and dancers. The singers sang loudly and also played various musical instruments. Others were enjoying the festivity. Ayodhya was shining, bedecked with all gems. King Dashratha gave in charity worthy gifts to Sutas, those who praise very highly in the court, Magadas, court singers, Vamdinam, orators who debate. To the Brahmanas, he gave wealth in the form of thousands of cows. After 11 days, the naming ceremony of the children was performed. The extremely delighted sage Vasishtha named that illustrious elder son Rama. He named Kaikeyi's son Bharata and Sumitra's one son Lakshmana and other as Shatrughna.
Here you have to understand, 1 minute before you go to the explanation, it's a big explanation. So before we go, first to understand why 11 days का सूतक होता है जन्म होने पे. Have I explained earlier, but just for your knowledge, सूतक लगता है. मृत्यु पे भी सूतक लगता है, जन्म पे भी सूतक लगता है. Why? If you have taken birth some place, means some place you have died. सीधी बात है, right? जात से ध्रुव मृत्यु, ध्रुव जन्म मृत्यु से च. That means one who has died, one who dies is sure to take birth. ठीक है, हम लोग बोलते हैं अरे प्रभु जी बीच में नरक और स्वर्ग है, ठीक है, बट शास्त्र से जन्म लिया मतलब तभी से सूतक लग गया. इट इज नॉट दैट 11 days जन्म से सूतक. क्यों? मरने वाला है, जो जन्म लिया वो मरेगा. सो द सेम 11 days सूतक जो आपको जन्म पे लगता है, मरण पे लगता है, वही आपको जन्म में भी लगता है. So this sutak is very, very important, and it only highlights, basic reason of highlighting is this is not a new soul, this is an old soul in a new body. इसके लिए 11 दिन तक घर में कुछ मतलब it's like though there is happy festivity and all that because घर पे बच्चा है, वो भी इतने साल से बाद एक राजकुमार आया, राजा को 4 राजकुमार मिले हैं, he is definitely happy, but as per the shastra, still a sutak. So that is why after 11 days, the naming ceremony was done by the chief priest Vashishta. Now read the explanation.
Acharyas have given a very vivid explanation about the birth of these four sons. Lord Rama is an incarnation of Lord Vishnu. Lakshmana is an incarnation of Sheshnag, which is attributed to Guru Tattva. Bharata is an incarnation of Sudarshan Chakra, hence he is said to be protecting Ayodhya in the absence of Lord Rama. Shatrughna, which means the killer of enemies, is an incarnation of the Panchajanya conch.
That is
As per
Shankar.
the-
That is
Hmm.
Shankar.
Shankar. As per the scriptures, there are 16 samskaras which must be performed by every individual. These samskaras not only purify our life at various important stages but also show us pathway to live this human life. The 16 samskaras are Garbhadan, before conception, Pumsavana, secure birth of the child, Simantana,
Simantana. Yeah.
husband parts the hair of the wife, Jata Karma, birth rituals, Namkaran, name giving, Nishkrama, first outing for showing the sun, Anna Prashanna, feeding grain for the first time, Chuda Karma or Mundan, shaving of the head, Karnaved, piercing the earlobes, Vidya Arambha, learning the alphabet, Upanayana, sacred thread initiation, Vedaramba, beginning Vedic study, Keshant, shaving the beard, Samavartan, end of studentship, Vivaha, marriage ceremony, Antyeshti, death rites. But with time, all these samskaras have been taken over by the Western culture. To have a good progeny, one must perform the Garbhadan samskara. But nowadays, children are born after drinking a glass of wine. Even the institution of marriage has been put at stake. Many people do not perform the Antyeshti samskara also. It is very important as it decides the further part of the soul. In this verse, Sage Valmiki tells us how all the childhood samskaras were properly performed for all four sets.
So these 16 16 संस्कार जो है, actually there are 32, but उसमें से कम minimum is 16. This has to be done. Of course, इसमें आपका मेन में तो हम लोग आजकल दो ही जानते हैं, एक विवाह संस्कार अब भी थोड़ा बहुत लोग कर लेते हैं अदर देन कोर्ट मैरिज, एंड एक अंतिम संस्कार, उसके लिए पंडित को बुला लेते. बाकी आई generally don't see people following any of the other samskaras. But all this is required for a good progeny and a good life. First and foremost, गर्भ संस्कार कर किए बगैर अगर कोई माँ बाप give birth to a child, the putra can be a rakshasa, a troublemaker, so many a number of us. Now, what do you mean by Garbhasasthan? What is the purpose behind it? Where you pray to God, Lord, we are not just indulging in sexual act for sense pleasure. See, the best part is human birth is we have got higher intelligence. We can use it for higher purpose. But when intelligence is covered by ignorance, then we go into these activities are not prohibited, but these activities need to be tuned with in line with the Shastra. That is why it is said, Garbhadan Sanskar means what? You take the permission of the Lord. I want to have a good progeny, a progeny which in future will also be spiritual, will also be doing good activities or shastric activities. That is the focus. So there are various various stages of life where again and again you thank God, you worship God, you plead God, and you go ahead with these samskaras. And the worst today, still worst is people now stopped doing antim sanskar also. Shraddha ceremony is not being done, and people are saying, donate my body for medical studies and all that. Please understand, when the pinda sharir is made, then only the departed soul gets a body to travel all the way from this material world to the Yamaloka. And after that, the journey in Yamaloka starts. Maybe it may be heaven or hell as per the activities done during his life. And after that, the person gets a chance to take birth again in this material world, might be as an animal or as a human being, as per the law of karma. So there are various tortures, or as per the activities and sins done by a person, he has to undergo during the journey from the earth, from this worldly planet to the Yamaloka. It is for that purpose these unseen sanskars are done. It is all vividly explained in the Garud Purana also. All these needs to be done with full focus and attention. One person was telling me, sir, आजकल क्या फायदा करके, आजकल के पंडित भी तो सब बेकार है, आजकल के ब्राह्मण भी कोई ढंग का ब्राह्मण नहीं. See, the call in which you are there. Now, so if someone says, no, the food is not as nutritive as it was earlier, can you stop eating? Earlier day, the intelligence level was very high, so you will stop going to school and colleges? Nothing changes. You have to adapt with time. You do it sincerely. The focus of your activity, of doing that activity, has to be more sincere rather than dependent on someone else. You don't give yourself an excuse that since the Brahmana is not pure enough as per my standards, I will not do it. First and foremost, what purity level do you personally stand at? आप खुद में आपकी खुद की जो प्योरिटी लेवल है वो कितनी अच्छी है, पहला उस चीज को देख. So, in the name of spirituality, one should never renounce his duties. ये भी एक बड़ा विडंबना है. कई इंस्टीट्यूट्स आपको सिखाते हैं, नहीं, you are already in chanting the holy name and doing bhakti, तो आपको ये सब कर्म करने की जरूरत नहीं है, बस थोड़ा खाना वाना खिला दो ब्राह्मणों को और वैष्णवों को खिला दो, काम हो जाता है. नहीं, this is wrong. You can do that. You can skip or renounce or abandon your duties only when you have reached that elated level. आपको खुद को वो लेवल पहुंचना चाहिए पहले. आपको सब जगह भगवान दिखना चाहिए, सब जगह आपको भगवान के साथ, सब चीज को भगवान के साथ जोड़ के आपको देखना. Unless until you are not elevated yourself, don't renounce any prescribed duties. This is what Krishna tells Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna was telling, नहीं, मैं अपना धर्म नहीं निभाना है मुझे. उसका धर्म क्या था? प्रिस्क्राइब ड्यूटी क्या था उसका? युद्ध लड़ना. क्षत्रिय था भाई, तो युद्ध लड़ना है. But he's saying, no. Krishna is saying, भाई अरे तू अभी तक उतना एलिवेट नहीं हुआ है, you can go into renunciation. बोला अभी मैं अच्छा, मैं भीख मांगते रहूंगा, मैं साधु बन के रहूंगा, सन्यास ले लूंगा. अरे नहीं चलेगा, ऐसा सन्यास नहीं चलता है. This type of renunciation leads to fall down. That's why many times we see so-called orange-dressed people, and you go to Mathura, you go to some dham, there, Ayodhya and all, you will see many orange-dressed people. They are drinking, smoking, taking that so-called ganja and all that. Why? अरे अभी तक वो mentally they have never elevated themselves and they have taken the renounced order. That's why many so-called people, they are involved in materialistic activities like money, costly things and all they want to possess. Why? Because they are not materially, they are not spiritually elevated themselves, but they have taken the renounced style. So that is why Acharya say, Krishna tells Arjuna also, we don't renounce your activities. All these activities need to be done. Your Shraddha ceremony needs to be done. Your Simanta ceremony needs to be done. Your Janma Samskar has to be done. Every Samskar, Vivaha Samskar. आगे हम लोग इस कांड के एंड में देखेंगे रामचंद्र जी का विवाह होता है. And वहां पे the focus is not on DJ. The focus is not on the photographer. The focus is not on how many celebrities have come to the marriage. The focus is only on the sadhus. who have come, the sages who have come, and they are served very nicely. It is to be understood that marriage means it is a very, very pious union of two souls, where they are committing to God that yes, unitedly we will be serving you, my Lord. As a man, what all duties I have to do, I will do. As a woman, what all duties my wife has got, she will do it. And together only we can serve. If the husband has to do the puja and other things, the wife has to prepare the paraphernalia, the bhoga, everything. It's a joint, it's a two-man army, a two-man team which works together. But nowadays, the focus is on n number of things other than on the ritual. यहाँ तक कि पंडित को बोल देते हैं जल्दी खत्म करो, जितना छोटा हो सके शॉर्ट में करके निपटा दो. आजकल फेरे भी कम कर दिए, क्यों? But the focus is more on photography, dressing up, on makeup, on dancing and partying and inviting celebrities, this and that. None of this is going to make your marriage happy and lasting. That is why you see nowadays marriages, why they don't last, because the focus on God is minimum and the maximum focus is on unwanted. So never, first foremost, please remember, never give up your prescribed duties. And these 16 samskaras come under your prescribed duties. जो भी आपको ये संस्कार के हिसाब से जो कार्य करना है, पंडित को बुला के करना है. Another tragedy which I nowadays see too much, be it be marriage, be it be a birth ceremony, be it be a so-called baby shower, जो सीमंत सेरेमनी था उसको बाजू में कर दिया, एंड उसको भी बेबी शावर का नाम देके all type of nonsense. Another thing is the mode of passion has entered all these ceremonies. Now, where is this word destination wedding comes into the picture? Where is the question of marriage is done in hotels? What is the purity in hotels? All four regulative principles are broken in all these hotels. And वहां पे आप रह के आप एक pious activity like marriage, an institution like marriage you want to enter in. How is it possible? And last but not the least, दिखावा. उन्होंने शादी में इतना खर्चा किया, मैं इतना खर्चा करूंगा, इतना दूंगा, आपने क्या गिफ्ट दिया उससे बेहतर गिफ्ट मैं दूंगा, रिटर्न गिफ्ट will be better than the thing. You may not be rich enough to call Justin Bieber and Rihanna in your marriages, but you are also following or deviating from the actual goal of the marriage. Ramchandra ji in his marriage falls at the feet of all the rishis and takes their blessings. Whereas here, people don't want to take any blessings. They just want to have a gala time, a happy time of enjoyment. That is the reason why in modern life, we are not doing these yagyas. These all come under the category of yagyas to various devi devatas. मैरिज में स्त्री को लक्ष्मी का स्वरूप, पुरुष को नारायण का स्वरूप मानते हुए विवाह किया जाता है. But now everything is diminishing, not because the brahmanas are poor, because our attitude towards them has diminished, has reduced, and forcing them also to make it very simple and low grade. So that is why it's very important that all the samskaras, you see, Krishna's father, Vasudeva, in the jail when Krishna was born, so-called incarnated, appeared, but still born. God appeared in the 400 form, then Devaki requested and he took the 200 form. So कहीं भी भगवान प्रकट नहीं हुए बाल स्वरूप में, बट वो तो चतुर्भुज रूप में फुल साइज में आए, विष्णु स्वरूप में ही आए, फिर छोटे हुए, छोटे मगर विष्णु स्वरूप, फिर देवकी बोले अरे बाबा तू 4 भुज में कैसा घूम रहा है, 2 भुज में आ जा. Then he took the 200. फिर उनको वो ही इज गिविंग इंस्ट्रक्शन, गॉड इज गिविंग इंस्ट्रक्शन. बच्चा इंस्ट्रक्शन देता है क्या? बोल नहीं सकता, वो बच्चा इंस्ट्रक्शन दे. दैट इज गॉड. सो एनीहाउ व्हेन लॉर्ड अपीयर्ड, Vasudev himself immediately, mentally, because he was not in a position to do any donation. जेल में बंधा हुआ है तो डोनेशन कहां से करेगा? But mentally he called 1,000 brahmanas and he gave them cows as donation. ले लो, मैंने डोनेशन कर दी. चाहे आप उसको संकल्प बोलो, चाहे आप उसको मानसिक तरीके से उसने वो विधि को पूर्ण किया, बट किया. What is more important is the vidhi has to be done. So please remember, it is very important for all of us to follow these samskaras and try to fulfill as much as possible. Though in today's date, that level of purity may not be existing in the Brahmanas, but that doesn't give us a reason, because even our purity has dropped down more drastically and more badly than the Brahmanas. So please remember that. Please continue.
All the Brahmanas and the other city residents were fed very sumptuously. The Brahmanas were given in charity various types of precious gems abundantly. Beginning with the birth ceremony for the children, all the other ceremonies, samskaras, were also performed.
Very important point which is being highlighted in this. Okay, with this verse we will stop, but there are a few couple of points to be learnt in this also. First and foremost, all the Brahmanas and other city residents were fed very sumptuously. यहाँ पे मतलब क्या है? सिटी रेजिडेंट्स बोलो तो क्या? आम लोगों, उसमें गरीब भी आ गया, जो जरूरतमंद है वो भी आ गया उसमें. बट द फर्स्ट फोकस इस कहाँ पे है? ब्राह्मणास पे. Please, nowadays I've seen many people coming with saying let's celebrate our birthday with some destitutes or some orphanage. Very good, very nice. Please do that, but please do your birthday samskara also in the temple. You don't have to do a very lavish program. Just go to some temple of Vishnu or Krishna or Rama, pray over there, thank him for what all you have received from God, though we don't deserve. Give some donation to the Brahmanas first. Feed some sadhus first, and then feed those destitutes. Nowhere Shastra says don't feed destitutes or the orphans. Or nowhere Shastra says. In fact, Shastra always says one should keep on doing charity as much as possible. But there is a system and a hierarchy. As one eats food, one doesn't eat the dessert first and then the main course later. एक सिस्टम रहता है, राइट? पहले आप रोटी खाते हो, फिर चावल खाते हो, फिर मिठाई खाते हो. यू डोंट डू द उल्टा, पहले जाके अचार खा लूं, बाद में चावल खा लूं, फिर रोटी खाऊं, फिर सब्जी खाऊं, फिर दाल खाऊं. It's not that. There's a system. Similarly, there's a system of doing this samskara. First, one should celebrate his birthday with God, thanking God, give some donation to the Brahmanas, very important Brahmanas. And the Brahmanas are fed sumptuously. What does this mean? There is a reason. Why is this so specific to mention here? Further, the Bhagavad Gita also it mentions Brahmana are the mouth of Lord Vishnu. अगर ब्राह्मण के मुंह में अगर खाना दिया गया तो ब्राह्मण तुष्ट होते ही विष्णु भगवान तुष्ट हो जाते हैं. So you can't feed directly God, but you can feed Lord's mouth, who are the Brahmanas, and by their feeding, they not only they become happy, Lord becomes happy, because it is said that Lord is the mouth of the Brahmanas. So at all stages, you see the entire Ramayana, Ramchandra ji keeps the Brahmanas at the topmost. It's not that He discards others or doesn't take care of others. He is such a personality. God is so samam sarvabhuteshu name deshti asti na priyaha. Lord is saying, I am equal to all beings. When Jatayu came, was equal to Jatayu. Shabri, she was not a Brahmana. She was from the Bhil Jat, I mean the lowest among humans. But उसके घर पे भी जाके खाए. Lord is not making any distinguishing. But he says, Brahmanas means I can't go against Brahmanas. I have to surrender to the Brahmanas. In fact, when Parshuramji comes, there's a big hot word charge, chat between Parshuram and Ramchandraji. And the marriage happens, when the bow is broken, Parshuram becomes angry. Who broke this bow of Shiva? And I am holding the bow of Vishnu. So there's a hot exchange of words. At that time, he ties the thread or the rope for the bow, Vishnu bow, which Parshuram had, and then puts an arrow and pulls it and says, where should I fire? You are a Brahmana, I cannot fire on you, but I have to fire because once a bow string is pulled, I have to fire. And then he says, okay, either I can destroy your punyas, or I can destroy your speed by which you travel. He says, no, let the speed be there, you destroy my punyas. So that itself, Ramchandra says, I can't kill you, you're a Brahmana. In the Uttarakhand, there is a very beautiful story. A Brahmana beats a dog. So the dog comes and cries. Ramchandra ke paas aake rota hai. So Ramchandra बोलता क्या हो गया? नहीं, this Brahmana beat me. He says, I can't punish a Brahmana. I can't give any punishment to a Brahmana. You tell what punishment to give. You give and you tell, and I will give the punishment. I mean, I'm not going to the story. This is a very beautiful story which comes in a different context. The point what I'm trying to say is Ramchandraji or God always keeps the Brahmanas at the topmost situation, topmost place. So we have to also understand from this very important point that first Brahmanas should be served. Brahmanas by birth. Brahmanas, there are many places we see Brahmanas just because of their activities, or some institutes give a number of people as Brahmanas. No, it is the Brahmana has to be by birth. You should have a proper gotra. And such a Brahmana only should be fed first. And then later on, you feed everyone. Not a problem. Absolutely, that's fine. Okay, with this, I think we'd like to close today's session. It's already 8:05.